All right, so we're going to get back into the LODs that we're going to try and get into Unity today. We looked at decimate and shrink wrap and a bunch of other things. And for whatever reason, one of the most fundamental ones ever completely slipped my mind while we were doing all that. So we're back. Screencast keys on. All right. So again, I'm just going to grab this face and then select similar coplanar. Now I've got the whole back piece. How many polys should that be? Because right now that's 224 faces. It's crazy. All right, so I'm going to go right click here. And there's, well, probably just hit X because there's other stuff hidden. So dissolve is great. Right clicking doesn't give me all of it. So I'm just going to hit X. And there's a limited dissolve. And it just gets rid of all this. Now I've got one face. It's definitely an N-gon, but I don't think it's in on itself here. And we can even try and like unclean and clean again. Well, let's just go tries. Even triangulating, it's only 78, not the 200 and whatever. And if I go backwards and I'll go tries to quads, it gets rid of a couple, not many. But yeah, limited dissolve. So that's great if you've got a big area like this. You can also try everything. See what happens. Yeah. Limited dissolve. Got like I've got some N-gons to clean up, but holy crud. Like anything that wasn't contributing to the overall shape of this is gone. Go backwards. So I had 26,000 faces in this shape, and then limited dissolve, and I'm down to 959 faces, and it's still this shape. I've just got to clean up the N-gons. So I can go, let's try triangulating again. Bumps it back up to 3,000, but it's still better than 26,000.
I mean, you could tell it was going to do that because sometimes look at the triangles.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in some spots.
You can always tell when you triangulate how many faces you'll end up with because you'll end up with the number of triangles in that color picture.
Mm-hmm. And then I will try to, this time, go tries to quads. And that pulled a few out, like right in here. These were obvious quads.
Yeah.
So there we go. Shape's there. Limited dissolve. It's not super precise, but it works. And then you can either just go to tries or cut some edge loops in yourself, or basically what you do is, let me see, just undo that. You would want to do it manually. I would just go to vertex mode and then grab like these two and J for joining them, and then kind of clean it up that way if you wanted to go in and manually do everything, because this is fine, right? That's definitely an N-gon, but it's not concave at all. I don't know, like what in the world? Okay, so this, who knows? I have no reference for what happened here. What is that? You see that? We zigzagged on a face.
Yep.
So again, is it perfect? Nah, dude, nah. But let me see if I can just dissolve these vertices. There we go. Makes it a straight line. This still needs to be cleaned up because it's concave there, but yeah. All right. So that was an example with that. Oh, yeah, there's some cleanup to do. I don't know what these little jags are. It's like putting lightning bolts on it or something. Weird stuff up there. But hey, it's cleaned up. It's lower poly. Definitely lower poly. All right, I'm just going to, this is the test one. Yeah, I can save this. All right, so for realsies, I'm going to go use the awful bridge that we were playing with. Schrodinger's error. Did I crash Blender? Did I crash the whole computer? Who knows? Anything like this point. All right, so I've got Alt-M bridges. We'll just cut them down. So there's the high poly one that I'm not even going to inflict upon Unity because we're at 1.749 million faces, but it looks sharp. And give it a minute. Hello? There it is. Yeah, so the materials are there. Looks nice. That's the high poly one. Using Decimate, I got to my mid, which looks almost the same. We just chonked a little bit. And I think this is going to be my new high poly, to be honest. I think Unity would much rather have 17,000 faces than 1.75 million. And it still has the look. We're still there. I kind of constructed the low poly here. So this is like off in the distance. Who's going to know? Who's going to know unless Colin says something? And then if someone finds out, we're going to know it was Colin. And we're going after him. So no one's going to know. Yeah, so that's definitely low poly. 267 faces. And I don't even think we have any N-gons going on. Pretty clean. The problem is I'm going to need to bake the stone back on here because somehow this only got the dirt. So I'll just bake the colors back. Well, because I started with the original was 2 pieces. Well, the original was 1 billion pieces. I have the dirt and then a whole bunch of stones. And so the low poly I made just out of the dirt part. So we'll have to bake that map. No biggie. And so what I need to do, that's low. Bridge high, we're actually going to rename to bridge too high. Bridge mid is the new high. And then, being able to spell is helpful. All right. Now with this guy, I'm going to try some of that limited dissolve. We'll see what happens. So yeah, we're at 17,000 just on the faces. Do it. There we go. Wait, what?
2.5 million.
Oh, I didn't bake it. Oh, I didn't bake the decimate. Yeah. Okay, let me just go back out of this. It's like all of a sudden it was back up in the millions. Nope. No, it's cool. I hit tab. We'll just wait a few minutes. All right. Yeah, so decimate is one of those non-destructive modifiers, which you wouldn't think with a word like decimate, but it is. So this is what I had set. I just collapsed it and had it like at literally 100th of the number of polys. Probably no other model that we're going to look at is going to take that much decimation, but that's what we did here. So I'm just going to apply that. And then we wait again. Okay, now it's legit 17,000. And it'll be much easier to try our dissolve on. So I'm going to hit A for everything. X. Let me just try limited dissolve on this guy. And I didn't drop that much. There wasn't a lot of places to go. Decimate did its job really well. So how am I going to get this down? Guess I might just have to Frankenstein the mid part. So if I can take like just the really obvious stones, like the along the top and then the ones here, and then if I can just bake this wall down into one shape and just put the stones on top, that might work for a mid. I almost want to shrink wrap each wall. Because the other thing that's going on here is all of these stones are still individual. So we've got a whole lot of faces that aren't being seen because they're up against each other. Let me try, well, I don't want to get too deep into this. All right, we'll leave that as our high. I'm going to make a copy of that. And then make bridge high 01 be our new mid. Actually, I wonder if I decimate again.
Well. Cat dragged it.
Good afternoon. Still good, I think. Just checking my materials on the mid. Yeah, we're still good. All right. So I'm going to redecimate. Got distracted for a minute. Okay. So on this ratio, 16,000 faces. I guess yeah. I didn't undo the limited dissolve. Let's just drop this by half. Not bad. For mid? Yeah. That's kind of doing what I want to do, just squaring everything off. Let's go again. Oh, not what I want taken away, what I want left. Oh, okay, 2.5's too much. 0.5 was pretty good. We'll just keep working back up to it. Too jaggy. Oh, yeah, 0.5 it is. All right, because at least most of our blocks don't turn into points. I don't even think, I mean, this is maybe this far for mid, and we at least cut it in half. We're down to 8,000. We're going to call it, this is going to be mid. That's what you want to hear, right? Your work's just mid. Auto smooth it, looks even better. Final test, let's see what the materials look like. Yeah. 8,000 down from 1.75 million. And that's still, okay, so we got a couple of issues with the texturing. No biggie. All right, we're going to call that. Okay, so that's our mid. I'll apply that, and I'll apply, maybe I should do it in the other order. Yeah, I'll apply the decimate first. Then we'll apply the smoothing, and we're going to say mid is done. We can come in and clean up things like that later. But honestly, from this far away, who's going to, we don't know, right? It may scare you to find out how much art and game dev is just smoke and mirrors. We're tricking ourselves. We're tricking other people. You never smoked a mirror? Don't do it. Yep. Auto smooth that just to be sure. That's my high. Something's up with this one block. That's the one that got goofy later. Oh, let me just double check something before I do much else. Anybody in here inside out? No? Oh, we got a little bit right up here. Okay, it's because these two faces are overlapping. Grab that. We dissolve that vertex. Boom, we're fixed. All right, that works. Apply that. All right. This shouldn't be a big deal. We did this like week 1, but you know, who knows? Okay, so let me make sure bridge high is, yep, it's all one piece according to this. I joined it. We'll go to shading. And this is a lot. So this came from Substance Painter. So we've got our diffuse base color, we got metallic, roughness, emission. I don't even need emission. Why is that there? Alpha, displacement, normal. It's got more than we need. You know, you do need some glowing algae and moss on a really good bridge. Yeah. All right, so that's good. And then on low, we've got, it wants to be all that. It's just, I think, just different channels. But I'm going to take off everything here. Go get rid of that. And we'll start with a new material that we can just bake to. Because I need to combine a bunch of stuff and put it back where it goes, because it's definitely not the same geometry that we had. All right. Please just let me select it. Thank you. Okay, that's selected. Huh. Something else there? How in the world did it maintain? Okay, we'll just get rid of the other stuff. Wild. Yep, doesn't exist. All right, we'll make it absolutely new material. And while we're thinking of it, let's check the UVs. This looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks legit. We'll go with it. Looks unwrapped to me. All right, so shading, and then bridge high, bridge low. Select those. We'll go to cycles. Yes, use GPU if you got it. Do all that, bake. For the distance, honestly, we probably just need the color. Like, if I put a normal map on this thing that's going to be half a mile off, no one's going to see that. So we're just going to do color or diffuse. Don't need the lighting that's in here. What is that? Somehow I lost the material on the side. That's fun. Whatever. That's meant to go into the ground. We'll move on. low, shift high, bake. So diffuse, just the color, selected to active. What else do we set up? Set some extrusion on that. We want to go to an image texture. Oh, I needed to set an image texture. That's what I was missing here. I knew I missed something. All right. So for the low poly guy, we give him an image. It's a new image. Low poly bridge texture. And this is where I was wanting to get to. We're going to, it's off in the distance. We can go 512 on this guy. So I think the originals are like, what did I give you? Probably 4K textures, 2K or 4K. But off in the distance, that's overkill, right? Like most of the time, your texture's way more than your models anyway. I don't need massive 4K textures on this thing that's going to be way out in Nowheresville. So new image, it's on there. And I want to make sure that that is what we're looking at here. There it goes. Okay, so with that highlighted, bridge low, shift, bridge high, selected to active.